All around us are 225 square foot museum exhibits that the students in the third year museum course have designed and built.
It's called Braver Than Loneliness.
Vein to Vein.
Called Prescribing Hope. Walls Down.
Not One Less. I'm Lindsay. I'm a third year knowledge integration student, and this is our exhibit, Not One Less. So we are talking about Hong Kong's growing unrest. And we're talking about the demonstrators, why they're demonstrating, what they're demonstrating for, and the history behind it. And we're also connecting that back to the local community of Waterloo as well. And in doing that, we're connecting it to the UN SDG 16, Peace, Justice, and Strong Institutions. So I want to start today by talking about our title here. So these newspapers were brought to us by one of our classmates from Hong Kong. So we've created a mural with those, and then on top of that, we've spray painted our title, Not One Less. Now this lotus flower here is actually the symbol of Hong Kong. It's on their flag, and each petal represents one of the protesters' 5 demands. So since the history of Hong Kong is really important to understand the demonstrations, we wanted to start our exhibit with a timeline. So we start with explaining colonial Hong Kong, and as you move down the timeline, you go past the umbrella movement and other protests that have happened in Hong Kong to the events of 2019. As a design piece, we've decided to include flip didactics because we really want to make sure that we're engaging our visitors with every piece of our exhibit. So this way, visitors can open the flip didactic to get more information. Another way that we've wanted to really immerse our viewers in this space is by using an umbrella ceiling. So these umbrellas, we cut off the handles and we've created a ceiling here. Now the umbrellas are a tribute to the umbrella movement of 2014, but also those umbrellas are still a symbol used by the Hong Kong protesters today. So on the side we have a mural of the protesters, and on the opposing wall we have a mural of the police. That way, when visitors are walking through this hallway, they feel like they're right in the center of the demonstrations. So this is our 5 demands wall. 5 demands, not one less, is a slogan of the Hong Kong demonstrators. So each of these 5 demands represents one piece of what the demonstrators are fighting for. So here we have a mannequin dressed as a demonstrator. Each item here is a household item used by the demonstrators daily. These cards can be used by visitors to flip through to understand what each item is used for. For example, the squash racket here can be used to hit tear gas canisters back out into crowds away from the demonstrators. So one of the demands of the demonstrators is for dual universal suffrage. So they want to be able to make sure that their vote is heard and they're actually able to elect all of their seats in government. So to represent the voting system, we've created this voting box here, which David is now going to demonstrate. So he picks up a voting card, which are designed after the Hong Kong ballots. He'll stamp it and then place it in the ballot box. And then when you open it, you can see that the ballot has actually been shredded. So this is meant to represent that while Hong Kongers get to vote, their ballot really isn't worth much in the grand picture. One of the last pieces of our exhibit was to have a section dedicated to interviewees with students from Hong Kong, mainland China, as well as professors at the University of Waterloo. In this section, we really wanted to represent all the various voices that are involved in these demonstrations to really help our visitors understand the complexities. We've tried to present our exhibit in the most unbiased way we can, while recognizing that that's not necessarily possible. So at the end, we wanted to include a section of interviews to really show all those perspectives and give the students at Waterloo a voice and a chance to have their voices heard. So thank you so much for coming to see our exhibit, Not One Less. We hope that you learned something and maybe found a bit of inspiration.